Welcome to Wellness Time. Sat Shri Akal, good afternoon, namaste. Yet another show, a very interesting show today. So welcome to our show, and we have a very sincere and dedicated occupational therapist here with us today. So this is Yuganti Mule.
Namaste.
Yuganti Mule, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you, Rani ji, for inviting me on your show, and I thank Mehfil TV and Wellness Time for giving me this opportunity to speak about occupational therapy.
It's our pleasure, Yuganti. So tell me, Yuganti, how many years since it is since you came to Canada?
So I came to Canada now 15 years, but my journey coming to North America is like before that.
Okay.
I finished occupational therapy bachelor's and master's from India.
Wow.
And then I came to US. At that time there was quite a bit demand for occupational therapy in US, so I spent 10 years there, and then when I got married I came to Canada, and I love it here.
So what are the challenges, Yuganti? Because we all have come here for a purpose, and we all have our own journeys. So what is your journey?
So in the beginning it was difficult just because you have to do your reciprocity of your education, because you are educated in India. So there is a process of reciprocity, and then you have to also give a board exam that everybody has to do. Anybody who is educated in Canada or anywhere else, they have to do the board. Once you pass the board, then another challenge starts. That's one hurdle.
So you mean we study in India, so when we come here, we have to upgrade ourselves, we have to do our entrance exams. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you don't have enough education according to what Canadian standards are, then some people will have to go back to university to upgrade their credits. If you have enough credits against with your name, you still have to the Canadian Institute still has to make sure that it's the right amount of credits that you have.
So how was it? It must have been challenging for you after doing so many years of the occupational therapy degree. Do you call it degree?
Yes, it's a degree.
Degree, okay.
It was actually quite challenging because I really didn't have much issue when I was in US. It was done really fairly quickly. They in US somehow they know the universities in India and what education program and what credits we have. So I did have to do the reciprocity here first. It is a special agency that does it. And once you're done that, then you can sit for the board. Otherwise, you cannot really even give the exam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how long did the whole process take for you?
For me, it was a little bit easier just because I was in US, so connecting here was easier.
In what way?
So I could call them, I could ask them what agencies and why are they doing it. I also had to, when I finished my boards, they wanted another reciprocity, so I'm like, why are you doing it? It's already done.
Okay.
So in that aspect, I would say it was like almost a couple of months to 4 or 5 months, yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad at all.
No.
Oh, that's great.
No.
Okay.
No.
And after that, what was your journey like?
After that, you have to give the board exam. Once the boards are done, once you pass, and that's also very difficult because there is no information about how these boards are going to be, what kind of questions they're going to ask. So basically, you just have to study the whole thing again. But then once the boards are done, you have another new challenge, because usually in Canada they want Canadian experience, and if you don't have that, Um, then you have to go and do some voluntary work. In my situation, I had North American experience, so it was a bit easier. But still, some of the Canadians would not want US experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is very, yes.
Yeah,
It was very surprising. They wouldn't recognize my US experience.
Okay.
But then, I mean, that's just some few. I eventually got a job. I started working in home care first. And then after that, I got a full time in hospital.
That's very good.
Yeah, in rehab setting, yeah.
So what exactly do you mean by occupational therapy?
Yes, so really, occupational therapy is part of your rehab team. It's one of the aspects of the whole rehab continuum. So occupational therapy will help you with any kind of issues with your physical, mental illnesses, or if you have any issues in that aspect, you're not able to do things like your self-care, you're not able to do your work, you're not able to even mow your garden because of some kind of injury or illness, then occupational therapy will work with you with therapeutic intervention. Sometimes we will do modification the way that your activity is done. So one example is like you have seen all the ramps that go in buildings. So
What do you
that's
mean?
one of the, so if people have mobility issues and they cannot
Okay.
do stairs,
Okay.
then they can use the ramps, and one of those things the occupational therapy will help you with.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they'll modify your house, they'll modify your work environment if you're not able to come to that level. Yeah.
So what I understand by what you say is it has nothing to do with your occupation. Anybody, even if I have a problem tomorrow, I can get in touch with you?
Yes. So occupational therapy is regulated health professionals, and occupational therapy is funded under OHIP. So you have funding through OHIP, and you also can hire privately, depending on what the illness is and what the issues are. Occupational therapy also is funded through auto insurance and work insurance. So sometimes people have issues at work and they get injured, and then you have your workman's comp. So OT also will be able to come at your work and modify your work
So
through that.
that's a good thing that OHIP covers.
Yes.
OT. OT
Yes.
means occupational
That's
therapy.
right. Yes.
So that's a very good point,
Yes.
and it's a big plus point
Yes.
for people.
Yes. Yes, it's difficult as it is when you are sick or you are ill and you're not able to do what you're supposed to do. Sometimes people cannot go and work, so you also have loss of income
Yes.
on top of all the things that you have to manage. So occupational therapy that it is funded through HIP is a great thing.
Yes. And
And
tell me, is there a age limit or any age group?
no, so occupational therapy will work with any age group from neonatal babies that are just born to somebody who is elderly and are not able to move because they are now really old. Like so, it goes from like 0 to 100.
Wow.
It will help you in all that aspects.
Okay.
Of
Especially
the continuum.
seniors, they can be benefited by this, right?
Yes, yes. So any seniors, your children, anybody, even yourself, if you have issues and you're not able to do your own self-care, you're not able to do your own cooking, mowing your lawn, you cannot go to work, or sometimes you cannot access your car or public transit, occupational therapy at that time can help you to modify or find alternatives or try to make your own abilities better and make you more independent. Occupational therapy will, it will help you in lots of different things. It helps you not just physically, but even if you have psychological issues, you're having depression, sadness, you having other psychiatric issues, OTs can help you.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my mind,
Yes.
like, how do you deal with people who have mental illnesses or mental issues?
Yes. So OT is, so you will find that OT can help with people from doing psychotherapy or cognitive behavior therapy with those people.
Okay.
And it also affects when you're sad and depressed, it also affects your self-care. You're not able to get out of bed
Exactly.
to do what you need to do to get out of your house, and OT will try and work with you, and we do lot of exercises for life roles, and through that, yes, definitely OT can
So
help
you do the psychiatric treatment too?
Yeah, so there are 2 3 different ways OTs can help. So one
That's
is
interesting.
yes, so OTs do work with psychiatrists,
Oh.
and we will work in hospital settings or in home or at your work. OTs also help with physical elements, right? Example, if you had a fracture and you're not able to do things, OTs will help. Or you just had a fall and you don't have a good balance now, and you're not able to do your own self-care. So OTs will be able to help you over there also.
Okay.
So OTs also will help you if you have any kind of neurological issues, like people who have stroke or people who have dementia, people who have spinal cord injuries. OTs will help them regain their independence by either doing a therapeutic intervention or modifying your work environment or your home.
I know. I would like to tell the viewers, like, when everything is normal and we are having day-to-day life, everything seems so very perfect. But it doesn't take long.
Yes.
It just takes few seconds
Yes.
for everything to go topsy-turvy, and
Yes.
before we know, going beyond our control.
Yes.
And that's the time when we need somebody.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
the support.
Yes.
So that's where you come in,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So if you have issues and illnesses, or just like example you were talking about just now, it's
Yeah.
you have suddenly a stroke or a heart attack,
Yes.
or you just fell down because you lost your balance,
Yeah.
you will be going to the hospital. But then once the crisis is over, you still have to get back to your own life, your own job, doing things, and that's where OT will come and help you. So, yeah.
What is the criteria? Like, there must be something like, I'm sure not all of us can get that help, right? So
Yes.
what is
Yes.
the qualification to be,
To get the OT, yes,
yeah.
yes. So to receive OT,
Yes.
you basically have to request your family physician. They'll refer you, and depending on what severity of your illness is, if you're in a hospital, the hospital doctor can refer you to OT. If you're at home, your family physician can refer you to an occupational therapist, and they can, depending on what environment you are in, they'll help you.
So it has to be through our family doctor always?
Yes, yes. So you can actually get OT on your own also, but then if you want OHIP to pay for it, then it goes through the family doctor.
Family doctor.
Yes. There are private OTs also, which you will not necessarily will need but it's always good to know why you are needing these services. So it's always
I'm
good to
sure,
go to your
yes.
doctor and request that.
So are you connected, you said you're connected to a hospital.
Yes.
Which hospital is this?
So I work in a hospital in one of the hospitals in GTA,
Okay.
and I work on a rehab floor. And you will find OTs work in lots of different areas. Like in hospital, you will find them in schools with issues with learning disabilities. Yeah. OTs work with autism, spectrum disorder, learning disability, developmental delays disability. We will be working with home at your work. They will come in your work and do job modification. So they do work in lots of different areas. OTs also work with issues with thinking skills and perception. So basically, you had a stroke and you're not able to think the way you used to, just because part of your brain is affected, or you had concussion and you're not able to do things properly, OTs will help you there as well.
So I'm sure our viewers want to know, how do they get in touch? One way is the family doctor,
yes,
right?
Yes.
What is the other?
Other ways, you can always go to occupational therapy associations. So there is one called OSOT, Occupational Ontario Society of Occupational Therapy, where you can find OTs in your areas. There is also Canadian Association of Occupational Therapy, that is basically nationwide, where you can find OTs. There is also College of Occupational Therapy, where you can go and find OTs and their how they are doing. Yeah.
So all this can be got on Google.
Yes, it's all on Google, and OSAT has its own website, and there is also otworks.com where you can find OT.
That's wonderful. We have learned a lot of things, and we will be back after a short break.
यार तेरा कट नहीं आने मोड़ तो मैं क्या दुनिया ते मैं बड़ा कुछ आखदी परवाह नहीं करीदी दुनिया दे सीने विच ठा वजदा वे मुंडा चुम्मी दे नजाज खत्ते हाथ मारीगा कदे मैनू भी ले जा कर हाय मैं नाट रख दे यारा औखा कम ट्रक्कां दा पैंदा रात जागणी सारी कदिए तेरे लिए गुड होण वास्ते गुड्डियां कसातियां मैं मेरे पीछे होर छत्ती फिरदे विच तू भी 3600 ते पल्ली फिरवे साले करदे स्कीमा सेवा करिए भी गुड्डी दा पराउणा आ गया बस इक्को बारी बोलदी दोनाई ते दूजी बारी जज बोलदा लैनी है सरपंची मैं वोटां विच खड़के नी किन्ने से वोट नी पानी विच जा छोड़ करावेगा यारी आज सिर मथे है माफी नी करो पवित्र ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਨਾ ਨਾਰਾ ਲਈ ਕਰਾਏ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਕਾਲੇ ਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਜਾਨ ਐਵੇਂ ਕੱਪ ਤੂੰ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਪਾਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕਾਮੜੀ ਚਾਹੇ ਨਾ ਨੀਲੇ ਪੀੜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਲੜੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਖਦੇ ਕਿ ਤਾਂ ਤਵਾਦੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਐਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਸੱਚੀ ਰੜਕਾ ਕੱਜ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੱਜ ਦੀ ਸੁਰਾਹੀ ਵਰਗੀ
ਮੇਲਾ ਮੇਲੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਤੇ 11 ਬੇਲੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ ਮੇਲਾ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੈਪਟੈਂਬਰ 8 ਨੂੰ ਵੁੱਡਬਾਈਨ ਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇੱਥੇ ਲੱਗਣਗੀਆਂ ਰੌਣਕਾਂ, ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੇਲੇ ਤੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਤੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੇਲੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬੋਲੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜਲਦੀ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਲੂ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਰੌਣਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਪਟੈਂਬਰ 8 ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਓ। ਹੋ ਜੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਫਿਰ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ।
ਛੀਨੇ ਕਬੂਤਰਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਰਬਤੀ, ਛੀਨੇ ਕਬੂਤਰਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਰਬਤੀ, ਵਿੱਚ ਕਜਲੇ ਦਾ ਡੋਰਾ ਵੇ ਕਬੂਤਰਾ ਨੱਚਦਾ ਜੋੜਾ ਜੋੜਾ ਵੇ ਕਬੂਤਰਾ ਨੱਚਦਾ ਜੋੜਾ ਜੋੜਾ ਵੇ ਕਬੂਤਰਾ। ਜੱਟੀਆਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਉੱਚੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਲੰਮੀਆਂ, ਜੱਟੀਆਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਉੱਚੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਲੰਮੀਆਂ, ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਤਰ ਤੇ ਹਲਾਉਣਗੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਅੱਜ ਗਿੱਧੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ ਤੂੰ ਪਾਉਣਗੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਅੱਜ ਗਿੱਧੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ ਤੂੰ ਪਾਉਣਗੀਆਂ ਨੀ ਅੱਜ। ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ ਪੜਤੂ ਪਊਗਾ 8 ਸੈਪਟੈਂਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੁੱਡਬਾਈਨ ਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਗੇ ਨਾਮ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਕੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੋਊਗਾ?
10 ਵਜੇ ਸਵੇਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਮੇਲਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ। ਬਹੁਤ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਆਏਗਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਫਨ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਸੋ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ 10 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ, ਔਰ 1 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ 10 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਡੇ ਮੇਲਾ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਬਾਊਟ 35 ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ, ਔਰ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਪਾਣੇ ਆ, ਗਿੱਧੇ ਪਾਣੇ ਆ, ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਟਾਲਸ ਵੀ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਟਾਲਸ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤੁਸੀਂ 4162 894-9400 416-366-1234 ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਟਾਲ ਦੀ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮੋਟ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਆ। ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗਗਨ ਜੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੂਪਨਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਦੱਸਾਂਗੇ। ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਗਿਫਟ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ। ਤੇ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ 8 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ। ਕਿੱਥੇ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ?
ਵੁੱਡਬਰਨ ਹਾਲ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੂੰਗੀ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਿਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਤੋਹਫੇ ਲੈਣੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੋਹਫੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਿਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੋਗੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸੀ ਆਪ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਆਪ ਲੈ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਮੌਕਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੱਡਿਓ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਿਓ ਸਤੰਬਰ
8 ਨੂੰ।
Welcome back, and we are back to Yuganti. So Yuganti, we are interested to know, how do you treat people? How do you treat patients that come to you?
Yeah. It's a good question, Rani. So the primary goal of occupational OT will be working with you is to make sure or enable you to participate in your daily activities, and that daily activities can be as simple as eating. You know, sometimes people are not able to feed themselves because of injuries or illnesses, and then the other spectrum is the like going to work. Like they want to do their job, but they cannot do it because of different things. I mean, not just mental, but physical or issues with thinking. Like they probably don't remember a lot, or they're not able to, because of whatever illness, they're not able to see from part of their visual field.
So can you give us some examples?
Yes. Yeah. So one example is somebody, I can give you one example that I'm usually work with, is that somebody who has a stroke. They go to the hospital, they get the crisis over, but the part of the brain that the stroke has happened, it stops working. And then our job is to teach the other part of the brain that is working to take over this part that is affected.
How do you do that?
So we would be doing a lot of therapeutic intervention, basically retraining your brain through different activities, and that's where the name comes from, occupational therapy. Because the occupational therapist will not just give you exercises, it will be some kind of activity. So lots of people have seen Lumosity advertisements on the TV. Okay. It's a brainwave website, and those are something to enhance your brain skills. And something similar to that we would be using when somebody is in the hospital setup, to improve their thinking skills, to improve the way they look at the environment and perceive. Sometimes people lose their depth perception, or sometimes they lose part of their visual field. So we would be helping with that through different activities like scanning or simple games that people can play. So that's where actually the name comes from. So occupational therapy works with some kind of activity or occupation to make you better, instead of giving you just exercises, which then at one point becomes very monotonous or tiring, and these are the activities that will keep you engaged. And then as you progress, they will make things harder and harder and harder. Okay. To a point, sometimes I will ask my client to play video games like Call of Duty, which has a lot of cognitive thinking. You have to plan, you have to remember, you have to use arsenal that you have. Yes. So you have to know a lot of things.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what we do when we cook.
Yeah.
You actually have to know what you have in your fridge.
Yes.
So you have to remember, and you have to remember the recipe and execute. You cannot just throw in things in the pot before the oil is spluttered, right? So
that's a good example.
Yes. It's a lot of cognitive abilities that you need when you cook, and you also need a lot of fine motor. You need dexterity when you're putting things in or you're chopping. You need to be able to stand in front of the stove when you're stirring, And if you're not able to do all those things, then definitely OT can. So one example, let's just talk about cooking, and you're not able to stand up, or you just do a little bit standing and you don't have stamina.
Okay.
So then OT will show you how to modify.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one example could be they can bring your stove down a little bit, so you can do it on wheelchair level, or they can give you a area to sit where you can do that activity. So just doing little modification, somebody can be independent, and they also will work with giving you activities and exercises so that you have this fine motor coordination. They'll do activities and exercises so that you can remember and you can see what you're doing properly and not make mistakes.
I mean, I was just thinking, we take like cooking and just walking around, we just take them for granted, like day-to-day activities. It is like I was just thinking, like,
Yes.
it's so easy to take it for
Yes.
granted, but when something goes wrong, that's when you realize the value of it.
Yes, exactly. And usually what happens is when we have illness and we see that we are not able to do our own life role, we really go down in dumps.
Exactly.
So you as a mom are not able to do what you're supposed to do, is take care of your family, you then go in depression.
Yes, there's a guilt, there's a
Of course.
depressed state of mind. There's so many things that's attached to it.
Yes. So basically, if you see you can do all these things, your weight on your chest gets lifted when you see all those things that you can do. Or sometimes people just accept that, okay, I'm not able to do what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just going to sit in the house and not do anything. And in our modern day, we don't have to do that anymore. Thank God that we are in Canada. And Canada is one of the most accessible countries that we have seen. I have seen. So you can get out, you can do things to the best of your abilities, and that's the main goal of occupational therapy, is to have you do the best that you can.
I'm sure. So tell me, Yuganti, like, you have seen so many types of challenges that people go through, and you have helped them. For example, let's take one case, like a person has a stroke and he or she is incapacitated in some way. So how long does it take for you to make that person independent?
So depending on your illness or depending on your stroke, your recovery time is different. But stroke recovery goes for months to a year. And you will be doing different things at different stages. So in the beginning, when you're sick, the main important thing for doctors is to minimize your brain damage and make sure that you live through the stroke. Like you don't, then you go to the rehab setup where the therapist over there will make sure that you are able to eat.
So that's the second step.
That's second step,
Okay.
yes. You are able to get up and walk, or you can transfer from one place to other. OT will come and teach you how to get dressed with only one side that is working now, right? After a stroke, you will have one side that is not working. So the OTs will teach you some compensation. OT will come in and retrain your arm that is not functioning now, so that it can start working and doing things. And at one point you will go home, but your therapy is not finished. So you will start with home care occupational therapist who will come in. Depending on your mobility needs, she will prescribe you equipment. So some people are not able to walk yet, they are able to stand and do things, so they will need a wheelchair. So a therapist or a walker, and the therapist will prescribe that to you, and there is a funding available for wheelchairs and walkers through OHIP. So when this occupational therapist does the prescription for wheelchair, she'll do paperwork for assisted devices program where the funding comes.
So you do all that?
Yes. So this will be therapist who works in home care.
Home care.
Yeah. So at that time you'll have different person, but occupational therapist.
Therapist.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's so much that occupational therapist does.
Yes.
It's
It's huge.
Yeah.
The scope of practice not just goes from physical, it also has emotional, psychological. And you were talking few minutes ago about Reiki before we started the show, and your OT might find that your main barrier for your recovery is mental illness. You have stroke, you have all other issues, but you're not able to work through your things because you have this mental block, because you think that now I'm sick, so I'm not able to do all these things. So she will actually help you with doing Reiki. Like I do Reiki all the time at work.
okay. Yes, that is what I have found
Yes.
in my life experience.
Yes.
Reiki helps.
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah. Yes. So tell me, Yuganti, like how does one become a occupational therapist?
Yes, so
What do we have to do?
yeah, so in Ontario, you have to have a undergrad, and then there is a master's program in occupational therapy. Currently in my hospital, we do take students, so we get students from Western and McMaster University, but there is UFT, and there is also Ottawa University, so Western, and so many universities in Ontario actually have occupational therapy program, but you have to do your undergrad in something, and then this is a master's program.
Okay, so that is a 3-year program?
So 2-year program
2
right
years.
now, and then if you choose to do PhD, then there is another. You stack on that. Yes.
So viewers, we learned so much about occupational therapists. It's amazing how much and what difference they make to people's lives. So thank you so much, Yuganti, for giving us information, and I'm sure now the viewers. What is the website that the viewers can go to?
So if you want to find me or any other occupational therapy, you can go to COTO, College of Occupational Therapy of Ontario, or Ontario Society of Occupational Therapy. All those 2 places you can find me or any other occupational therapy in your area.
So viewers, there is no need for us to hesitate. Let's get together and then make a difference in each other's lives. So Yuganti has told you about the website. So go to the website if you have any family member suffering from any kind of challenge. So go on the website and please get the help, because Canada is a place where there is help available, but all you have to do is ask. That is what I stress on every program. Ask and then you shall get. So with that we wind up, and Yuganti, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much.
And it's been a
Rani.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
And viewers, 8th September, be sure to come for the Mela, Punjabi Mela at Woodbine Parking. And ladies, and it's for ladies only, from 9 to 11, be there for all kinds of activities. And after 11, the whole day, there are a lot of Punjabi singers and there's a lot of goodies, there's a lot of fun. So make sure you're there on September 8th at Punjabi Mela. Thank you so much
Namaste.
and have a lovely weekend.